What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from ActiveMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm going to be talking about Transformers: Dark of the Moon. This is a second look. I decided to jump into the Transformers franchise again. They're on Paramount Plus. Transformers 1 happened, and all the Transformers movies have audio description, so it gives me a great chance to talk about the films and their audio description. And are they good? Should you watch them? Um, so yeah, let's dive in. Make sure to click like and subscribe though, because I'm asking, pleading, begging. Anyway, this is the third film in the Transformers franchise, and it is the last one for Shia LaBeouf. No more Sam Witwicky after this, which I honestly think is a tragic mistake on the franchise's part because I while I can tolerate 2 and 3, I really do not like the next couple of films until they hard booted it with Bumblebee and then back with the most recent live action Transformers. So Bumblebee kind of curved it back up and we're on the rise again. But yeah, 4 and 5 are. So we are we're at a place where the Autobots are kind of working with the humans and learning more about we're living in sort of more of a symbiotic relationship. Um, and of course, trouble is afoot. Sam has a new girlfriend who I don't think she really appeared in anything else after this. But basically, you know, we had Megan Fox had a falling out with Michael Bay, and he was like, "I can find anybody to replace you," and he found a model, and bam, she's in the film, and she's now been in like a fairly long term relationship with Sam as of the point that we meet her, so he doesn't have to court her. Um, and she works for Patrick Dempsey's character, who's this like wealthy. Well, he's the villain. Uh, I don't know. He's even when like you meet him, he's smarmy. Like he has a kind of uh, thing about him where you're like, I don't know, this guy's pompous. This can't be good. Sam is trying to find a job. He's graduated college magically, finally, considering he had to like leave college in the second film to go fight in the desert. Um, I don't know what happened to his friend. I don't know what happened to Ramon Rodriguez. He just vanished from the, face of the planet from the second film. So he just gone. And he has some banter with his parents who are back in this, which is cool, I guess. The parents are back. He's trying to find a job, and he eventually gets a job working under John Malkovich's character, Ken Jeong also works there, and he's being manipulated. Uh, and when he becomes of no use, uh, this is an earlier Dr. Ken film, so he's not in much of it. He's brief comic relief for the film. What else do we have in here? Sam is eventually he sort of runs back into trouble, even though he's not really in contact. His car is not Bumblebee anymore. Bumblebee is off with the Autobots, and they're sort of joined with Homeland Security and the military. And eventually, he has to drive on base where he meets Frances McDormand, who is like the least likable character in the film. She is too much. I know she's trying to like give like vibes for the Transformers franchise, and they've given her a role, but it's too much. Like Sam comes in and she like pretends to not know who he is, and I'm like, how do you not know who this kid is? Like, how do you work in the government at any level and not? I mean, like he's talking about how he has There's a joke that he has earlier in the film where he got a medal from Obama, and then they're like, "Well, we're Republicans, so he doesn't get the job." It's like, how do you not know who he is, but yet you're working that close with the Autobots? Even if you should have passing knowledge. And she acts just like, "Who is this? What are they doing here?" Oh, um, and it should be more, I think, of a dynamic where she's like, "Oh God, this kid," like it should have been more like that, where she's just like, "Oh God, I'm the one with the military experience. There's a reason you're not here." And then of course his girlfriend is there, and I think Josh Jamel vouches for her because he's back because he has really nothing better to do with his life than continuously be in Transformers movies. Um, so basically, there's some stuff on the moon. That's the dark of the moon, um, and it's this long lost Autobot that uh, they get Optimus to revive, and uh, he had these pillars that were gonna like uh, help bring stuff back from Cybertron. It's a really convoluted plot, and basically, uh, things go awry. Not everybody can be trusted, and action galore from there. So I don't necessarily want to get from point A to point B and tell you the entire movie, but I'll give you like the warm up for the film, like the and we're off. So it does take a while to get going. It does feel like Michael Bay probably could have made a shorter film. Um, but in terms of, I think people are showing up for the Transformers and not necessarily for the humans. And we do spend quite a lot of time in exposition mode for Sam and his girlfriend and the job and his parents and this car that he's got. And what did John Malkovich do? And oh, we got to bring John Turturro back in here. Just everything. So because of that, the film ends up feeling a little bit longer. It's not terrible of a film. Like I said, I can tolerate 2 and 3. I would not call them. The number one is probably I thought was a solid start to the franchise, but even in that, I don't think it's a great film. It's not my favorite Michael Bay film. I don't even think it's the best Transformers movie anymore. I think it got beaten out by Bumblebee. So uh, I would, if I end up doing a ranking video at the end of all these, I'm feeling Bumblebee, unless Transformers One uh, ends up beating it for some reason. But yeah, it's we still have those like little tiny sort of like crossovers. Like now they're the good guys on like used to be the bad guy bots, and now they're good guy bots, and they're kind of annoying. Um, and they're like, Sam, don't let them take us. It's just, I don't know. Like some stuff here works, and some stuff is just like, okay, so we kept these characters, but not those characters, and it just like it's all sort of like rhyme and reason, and we introduce new faces, but it's like, what do they bring to the table? Why are we introducing them? What is the point? What are you trying to say here? What are you trying to do? Is any of this going to matter? Because now that I know where the fourth movie is, I'm like, okay, so we're building towards something, and we're continuing to build a universe, and then like the fourth film comes, and then you just go, well, shit. Like we just threw all that out the window. Michael Bay is just really easily able to discard things. Like he just discards Megan Fox, but oddly enough, also like Ramon, which should have been a build-up character for Shia to have a best friend who could have rejoined in on the action. But he's just like a island on his own. And again, they introduce a new girlfriend for him who could have gone into a fourth film, but because they abandoned this whole sort of structure, um, she doesn't even get a chance to reprise her role. So nothing. This really doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't really mean anything anymore, because we have to jump to a different timeline and a different group of humans, and then connect Bumblebee to a new owner. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like it's so weird when you think about the Transformers franchise and like what Michael Bay was trying to do. it's really odd to like advocate for more Shia. It's not that I don't like Shia. I think Shia is actually underrated, and I think he ends up getting a lot of shit for doing exactly what he needs to do. He's probably one of the stronger things about the film. It's kind of like the other people who show up who just kind of like get sucked into a Transformers movie and you're like, why are you here? Like, um, like Frances McDormand, three-time Academy Award winner. Why are you here? Like, what about this role? Paycheck, probably, but it's an ensemble cast. It couldn't have been that big of a paycheck. They don't need her. The movie's not going to ride or die on Frances McDormand being in the film. So, I don't. It's just an odd choice for her. And same thing with like John Malkovich. It's like, what about this role attracted you to this film? You were already a well-known actor at this point. Again, it's an ensemble film. Couldn't possibly be a paycheck. They're not paying you that much money to appear in the film. So why are they here? I don't think the film really answers that question for some of them. So it's perfectly watchable, but it's not necessarily a film that I think people go, oh yeah, I really want to watch Dark of the Moon today. I'm super excited for that. Audio description I thought was really good. The tonality of it matches sort of the film. It's a nice sort of dark, ready for action type of tone. It doesn't have a lot of inflection. It's not like overly performative. It just is. It's the right voice for the right type of film that this is, which is an action movie first and foremost. Science fiction would be like the second genre that you would go with. Maybe comedy third, but it's certainly the other two genres first. It has like bits of comedy in it, but people aren't coming here for the laughs. That's not why people are showing up for this franchise. So I think he was the appropriate narrator choice for this. I liked the audio description. Sort of really interesting. Some of the action sequences. There's one where Sam is running from Starscream, and Starscream like slams into a wall, and just the description that was going into that, and about him being Starscream fitting through spaces and stuff like that I thought was pretty interesting. And then the car that transforms and sucks. Is it Isabel? Or is that her actual name? Now I can't remember. I think her actual name might be Isabel. But sucks the girlfriend back into the car. I thought that was really well described. So there are several scenes in here where like the Transformers action is sort of convoluted in their movements because their bodies sort of transform and manipulate as they're moving along. But the audio description found a really good way of describing the way that they move. Having seen this film a couple of times, I think not many. This is like maybe my third or fourth time watching this. So I do own this on Blu-ray. I'm sorry, I own the first 3 films on Blu-ray. I do think that the action is well written and it's a great narrator choice. So if you want to check out Transformers Dark of the Moon and figure out what was happening with the Transformers franchise back in the day when Shia was in it, then this film is for you. So it's on Paramount Plus. It's got audio description. I don't hate it, but I wouldn't strongly recommend it either. Do not know what's happening with my voice right now. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm being attacked by Transformers from the inside. I'll give Transformers Dark of the Moon a C+. I think it's fine. It could be shorter. What happened to some of the casts? Like, why does he keep? I feel like he just gaslights us into like, well, this is the cast for this film. What happened to that? I don't know. It's the same thing he did kind of in the second film where the nerds didn't come back, and like you're like, where don't ask questions. I feel like, yeah. So, but again, get ready for me to not like the next couple films because I despise 4 and 5. So with the fibers of my being, deeply despise them. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I will see you guys on the other side.